Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, Tox Channel is a toxicology channel that believes that understanding the potential risks associated with toxicants in our food and environment is essential for safeguarding our health. Today, we will be looking at a chemical toxicant called carbon black. To begin, let's remind ourselves what carbon black is. Carbon black is a fine black powder that is widely used as a pigment in various cosmetic products, including eyeliners, mascaras, lipsticks, and foundations. It is produced through the incomplete combustion of carbon-based materials such as coal tar and other hydrocarbons. This process results in a material that not only provides rich color, but also enhances the texture and stability of cosmetic formulations. Despite its popularity, carbon black has raised health concerns due to its composition and the presence of harmful contaminants. Specifically, commercial carbon black can contain organic contaminants like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which are recognized as potential carcinogens in humans, and the inhalation of these substances may pose serious health risks. Carbon black can be commonly used in cosmetic products such as eyeliner, mascara, nail polish, eyeshadow, brow gels, lipstick, blushers, rouge, and foundations. It has therefore become important for the consumer population to identify and exclude these substances from cosmetic labels before purchases. Below is what to look out for in order to exclude carbon black from your cosmetics. Be vigilant for the following terms which may connote carbon black when reviewing cosmetic ingredient labels: carbon black, DNC black number 2, acetylene black, channel black, furnace black, thermal black, CI pigment black 6, and lamp black. If any of these terms are found on the cosmetic label, the product will contain carbon black. Next, let's review some safety concerns with carbon black usage in cosmetics. The first health risk with carbon black exposure is the risk of cancer development. Carbon black is classified by California's Proposition 65, also known as the Safe Drinking Water and Toxic Enforcement Act of 1986, as a carcinogen. This act requires businesses to warn Californians about chemicals that can cause cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive toxicities. The International Agency for Research on Cancer (IARC) has also listed carbon black as a possible human carcinogen. Experimental studies in female rats exposed to carbon black particles by inhalation showed an increased incidence of lung tumors. And the exposure to carbon black has also been linked to concerns about lymphatic cancer among factory workers, primarily due to the polyaromatic hydrocarbons present in carbon black. There is also a concern of skin cancer development with carbon black use. Let's look at how polyaromatic hydrocarbons are generated. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, are a class of chemicals that occur naturally in coal, crude oil, and gasoline. They also are produced when coal, oil, gas, wood, garbage, and tobacco are burned. PAHs generated from these sources can bind to or form small particles in the air. The second health risk associated with carbon black exposure is organ system toxicity. Research suggests that exposure to carbon black may increase the risk of lung disease in humans. Workers who handle carbon black, especially when it is in powder form, may be at higher risk for respiratory and ear-related issues. Studies also showed that long-term exposure to carbon black could also be associated with increased cardiovascular disease prevalence. Thirdly, inflammation and fibrosis are health risks with carbon black exposure, as chronic or prolonged exposure to carbon black could result in pulmonary inflammation and fibrosis, as well as lung tumors in animal studies. Inhalation of carbon black particles can lead to serious respiratory complications over time. Lastly, reproductive and developmental risks are associated with carbon black exposure. In this case, the vulnerable populations are women of reproductive ages, pregnant women, and young children. There is growing concern that exposure to carbon black, particularly due to its polyaromatic hydrocarbon content, may also have harmful effects on reproductive processes and developmental health in offsprings. Here are some at-risk populations to carbon black toxicities. Certain groups of people may be more at risk due to exposure to carbon black, including teenagers who are frequent users of makeup products containing carbon black, occupational workers working in industries where carbon black is produced or applied, such as in nail salons or manufacturing environments, may be prone to toxicities, as well as individuals with certain genetic predispositions. It is important to consider some regulatory efforts by different countries for carbon black use. Regulations for the use of carbon black in cosmetics vary by country, primarily focusing on safety and health considerations. Here's an overview of the regulatory landscape. In the United States, the FDA regulates cosmetics under the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Carbon black is generally recognized as safe when used in specific applications, such as pigments in cosmetics, but its use must comply with labeling and safety requirements. The FDA does not approve cosmetics before they go to market, but monitors safety and may take action against products that are found unsafe. According to current safety regulations, carbon black can be used in cosmetics at a concentration of up to 10%, provided it is not in a nanostructured form with particles smaller than 20 nanometers, and should not be used in products that could lead to inhalation exposure, like powders or sprays. This is due to concerns about potential lung irritation from inhaled particles. If the carbon black is too fine, at these concentrations of up to 10% weight in weight when used as a colorant in cosmetic products, carbon black does not pose a risk of adverse effects in humans after application on healthy, intact skin. The clause intact skin is important in limiting carbon black absorption. In the EU, carbon black is classified as a substance of very high concern under the registration, evaluation, authorization, and restriction of chemicals REACH regulation due to its potential carcinogenic effects. In cosmetics, it is subject to European Cosmetic Regulation number 1223/2009. The maximum concentration of carbon black nano allowed in cosmetics is 10% weight in weight, with some exception. The use of certain forms or concentrations of carbon black may be restricted, and it must be included in the product's ingredient list. Various international bodies, such as the International Organization for Standardization (ISO) and the Cosmetic Ingredients Review Cheer Panel, provide guidelines on the safe use of cosmetic ingredients, including carbon black. Compliance with these standards can help ensure product safety in global markets. Companies using carbon black in cosmetics must remain compliant with the relevant regulations in the regions where they market their products, ensuring thorough safety assessments and proper formulation practices. There is a need to take proactive actions to exclude carbon black from your cosmetics. Today, you can actively be involved in the regulation and exclusion of carbon black from your cosmetic collections in a number of ways. First, through label inspection. Make sure to always read the ingredient list of cosmetics to check for carbon black or related compounds. You can use the alternative names provided earlier in this video to find any kind of carbon black ingredients. Secondly, seek alternatives. If carbon black is present in your regular cosmetic product, seek alternative products. Opt for products that are labeled as free from carbon black and its related substances, looking for natural or mineral-based alternatives. Lastly, educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest findings regarding cosmetic ingredients and their potential health risks. By understanding the implications of using carbon black in cosmetics and taking proactive measures, consumers can make informed choices that prioritize their health and safety. Do not forget to click the like and subscribe buttons so you can get notifications for our videos.